Hello everyone. So this video is going to be on Talk's backup system and how to use it. Talk's backup system is an integral part of our operations here at Talk. You are not allowed to shift unless you have a backup member assigned to you. The reason for this is that backup members are here to support you during your shift, so therefore if you do not have a backup member, you are not allowed to shift. Backup members are all experienced Talk volunteers who have shifted a number of hours, and they're a great resource to answer any questions that you may have. Many backup members will sign up for your shift in advance, and if this is the case, then what you'll do is you'll call them 15 minutes before your shift starts, and you'll see if they're still available to cover your shift and be your backup member. If they are no longer available or if they do not pick up their phone, then you will go about the process of trying to find a new backup member. So we have a list of all the backup members that Talk and their corresponding phone number. So what you would do is you would call through this list and you would see if anyone else is available to be your backup. If you go through the list once and no one is available, we request that you go through the list a second time. Additionally, we have a backup request channel on our Slack page, which we use for communication, and so you should post in the Slack channel that you are looking for backup. Once you find backup, you sign them in so that they get their hours. Additionally, I'd like to mention that if you cannot find backup 1 hour into your shift, you are allowed to leave your shift and you will still get the allotted hours. However, you are also allowed to share backup. So this means that if there is another shifter who is shifting who has backup, you are allowed to share that backup member with them. When you are sharing backup, the one thing to remember is that you are not allowed to be on the phone at the same time as your co-shifter who is also sharing your backup. This is so that your backup will be able to your backup member will be able to support both of you if needed during a call. So basically it's important to remember that if you're sharing backup, neither you nor the other shifter should pick up a phone call if the other person is already on a call. At Talk, we break down backup support into two main categories. So we have 2s and we have 9s. 2s code for debriefing. So debriefing means that after a call, and after you've completed a call, you'll call your backup member and you'll just discuss how the call went. You'll ask any questions that you had. You'll state any concerns that you may have. You'll see if you'll ask questions about lines that you use that you weren't sure were appropriate or not to use. So they're a great resource for you after your call. So the mandatory times that you need to debrief or call 2s are if you're a probationary member, it is mandatory that you debrief at least once per shift. If there's active self-harm on a call, or if you suspect child abuse. So you will learn more in detail about these types of calls later on in training, but those are the 3 times when it's mandatory to call 2s or debrief. We also have 9s. So 9s codes for in-person or Zoom immediate support. So to call 9s, you take another phone while you're on the call, so for example your own personal cell phone, and you call your backup. Once you have called your backup, you button smash, which means pressing a bunch of buttons at once. This creates a staticky noise, so when your backup picks up the phone, they hear the static on the other end, and they know that you need immediate in-person or Zoom support. So there are 2 options for this. So the backup member will either come in person into the office and support you in person, or there will be a predetermined Zoom link that has been made and sent to you that the backup will join and that you can join as well, and then you can use the chat box to chat. So if you're using the Zoom option, the backup member will be able to hear what you're saying and will be able to provide you with guidance using the chat box, and you'll also be able to ask any questions that you may have using the chat box. So it is mandatory that you call 9s if you have a high-risk suicide call, and it is also mandatory to call 9s if you have a call involving a high risk of murder. So you will learn more about these two types of calls later on in training, but those are the two times when it is mandatory to call 9s. However, you can call your 9 backup anytime you feel like you could benefit from in-person or Zoom support. I just want to stress the importance of using your backup team. They can provide a lot of assistance during your shifts. So please don't hesitate to call them. They love to hear from you, and they're here to support you and help you. If you have any questions about backup or about how the team operates, please reach out to your trainers as they will be happy to assist you. Thank you.